Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends. During this difficult and trying time, we need to come together by staying apart. We all need to do our part to flatten the curve and save lives. Stay isolated and continue to social distance, wash your hands frequently and effectively, and help spread the word to others who don't understand how they can make a difference. Finally, I'd like to thank the real heroes and legends out there, everyone whose jobs are essential and are working hard every day for all of us. To find out more on how you can stay safe and make a difference, check out the World Health Organization's website at www.who.int. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. I hope this video finds you well. And this week in the market, things are starting to come back to life. The Ikoria previews have helped with that. A lot of the cards that are going down in value are really moving because they were recently reprinted more than anything. So there's a little more to talk about this week. Quickly before we get into it though, just a fast reminder, if you go over to flipsidegaming.com, you can still use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on orders over $10. However, they're currently not shipping any items out. I just want to make everybody aware of that. Without any further ado though, let's get into it. Alright, we're going to begin, as we always do, with Standard, and this time it's your top 8 Standard legal cards that have lost value this week. A lot of these are moving down because of the Challenger decks. Their release date was actually pushed forward a little bit, so it came out officially on March 27th, although I'm sure a lot of people really can't get a hold of the product right now, but it is starting to circulate out there. Number 8 is Knight of the Ebon Legion. It goes down 51 cents to $3.19. There's 2 copies of this in the Final Adventure 2020 Challenger deck. Doesn't see a whole lot of standard play right now currently as we move towards the end of the season. In Pioneer, it's a little more lively there, showing up in Mono Black Aggro and Mono Black Vampires. Number 7 is Vivien Arkbow Ranger. This goes down 51 cents to $9.25. It sees a little standard play right now in Mono Green Stompy. Pioneer, though, it does see a lot more play. Mono Green Walkers is a pretty popular deck right now, and this card also shows up in Modern occasionally as well. Number 6 is Steam Vents from Guilds of Ravnica, going down 51 cents as well to $11.49. There's 1 copy of this in the Allied Fires 2020 Challenger deck. You can find this now in Standard in a couple decks as the season starts to come to a close. Jeskai Fires, Temur Reclamation both run this. In Pioneer, it's in Izzet and Soul and more, and it does see Modern play as you would expect from a Shockland too. Number 5 is Leyline of the Void, the one from Magic 2011, also going down 51 cents to $12.49. And this does see a little standard play and a little Pioneer play out of sideboards, but it's really still a big sideboard card in Modern, Legacy, and Vintage. Number 4 is Aether Gust. It goes down 52 cents. Finally, a change to $1.88. 3 copies of this are in the 2020 Challenger deck Flash of Ferocity. Now, green also isn't as prominent as it was in a lot of the metas since many cards were banned in that color recently, but still, it's a big sideboard card in Standard, Pioneer, and Modern. Number 3 is Bone Crusher Giant. It goes down 53 cents to $2.18 this week. There's 4 copies of this one in the 2020 Challenger deck Cavalcade Charge. You'll find this in Jeskai Fires, Temur Reclamation, and more right now in Standard. In Pioneer, it's in Mono Red Aggro, and it also sees Modern and Legacy play as well. Number 2, Kenrith the Return King, down 56 cents to $5.50. This is the non-foil copy, so not the foil buy box promo, but you can find 1 copy of this in the 2020 Challenger deck Allied Fires. This is still in Jeskai Fires decks in Standard. We'll have to see how they do next season when everything changes. And number 1 is Embercleave. It goes down 72 cents to $14.55. And again, you can find 1 copy of this in one of the 2020 Challenger decks, this time Cavalcade Charge. Mono Red Aggro will play this in Standard and a few other decks too. Pioneer, you'll find this in Mono Red Aggro and Gruul Aggro. Alright, on to the top 8 Standard legal cards that have gained value this week. Number 8 is Robber of the Rich, up 39 cents to $5.90. Good upgrade for 2 of the Challenger decks, actually. You'll find this in Standard and Jeskai Fires builds and Mono Red Aggro builds. This also sees a little Pioneer play. Number 7 is Blood Crypt. It goes up 39 cents to $13.25. This is the one from Ravnica Allegiance. And, of course, this is in Rakdos Sacrifice this season in Standard, although, again, a lot's going to change in Standard very soon. This also sees Pioneer play. In Modern, this is in some big decks like Jund and Dredge and more. Number 6 is the Great Henge, up 41 cents to $16.94. Some adventure builds will run this. In Pioneer, it's in Mono Green Walkers and Golgari Stompy. Number 5 is Questing Beast, up 53 cents to $12.77. Doesn't see as much standard play as it once did. Sometimes this is in Bant mid-ramp sideboards. However, in Pioneer, it's still seeing some play. Salty Delirium, Nib to Light sideboards, and more. In Modern and Legacy, it can show up sometimes too. Number 4 is Bristling Boar, up 56 cents to 160. This is the one from the Core Set 2020 Green Welcome deck. There's one copy in that deck, and that's the only place you can get this particular variation of the card. That's why the prices tend to move all over the place. There's not a lot of copies for sale online at any given time. What's kind of funny about this particular card, though, is it was just reprinted in Mystery Boosters, and it's being reprinted in Ikoria, too. Number 3 is Twin Blade Paladin, up 69 cents to 381. This is another Core Set 2020 card that's not in the draft booster packs. However, you can get 3 copies in the Ajani Inspiring Leader Planeswalker deck, and this card has been pretty popular in Brawl and Commander builds recently because a lot of people have been playing Life Gain. Those Life Gain decks have gained some momentum ever since Theros Beyond Death came out, bringing us things like Heliod, Daxos, and some other cards that really play well in that strategy. Number 2 is Breeding Pool, 2 copies here. Dissension up 46 cents to 32.64, and Gate Crash up $1.04 to 22.89. Now, some of the Shocklands are beginning to rebound after a few soft weeks. This is one of them. This is in a lot of decks, though. Sultai Midrange, Temur Reclamation, Bat Midramp, and more in Standard. Pioneer, it's in some big decks there like Bant Spirits, Sultai Delirium, and more. And it sees a lot of modern play, including in a very popular deck there, Bant Snowblade. Number 1, back again, it's Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. After going down in value a couple weeks, it goes up $1.28 to 38.56. This is in big decks, Sultai Midrange, Temur Reclamation, Bant Midramp. You know, when Ikoria changes Standard, some of those decks are still going to be viable. In Pioneer, you'll find this in Nib to Light, which is pretty popular. There's a new Simic Unexpected Results deck that runs, wait for it, Unexpected Results. And it's actually doing pretty good on Magic the Gathering Online. That deck runs this. Modern, you'll find this in some big decks like Bant Snowblade again and much more. Sees Legacy play, also sees play in Commander and Brawl. Okay, let's move on to Pioneer and your top 6 Pioneer legal cards that have lost value this week. Number 6, Athreos Got a Passage from Journey into Nyx. It goes down 98 cents to 15.66. And this is not moving, obviously, because of what it's doing or not doing in Pioneer. This is a great Commander card, but it's moving down because of the reprints that it saw recently. This was reprinted in Mystery Boosters, and has also recently been reprinted in one of the Theros Stargazing Secret Layers. Number 5, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. It goes down 98 cents to $23. This card just hasn't seen a lot of Pioneer play. I mean, every once in a while it shows up in a deck, but a lot of folks had some high expectations for this card, and I do think it's going to lose a lot more value before it does stabilize. Number 4 is Supreme Verdict from Return to Ravnica. It goes down $1.01 to $12.59. The main reason it's going down in value is because it was reprinted in Mystery Boosters. It's in some good decks, though, in the Pioneer format, like Lotus Breach and Azorius Control. In Modern, it's in Bant Snowblade and more there, and it sees some Legacy play, too. Number 3 is Perforos God of the Forge from Theros. It goes down $1.15 to $20.89. Basically the same story as Athreos. Good Commander card, but it's been reprinted in Mystery Boosters, and it was reprinted in one of the Theros Stargazing Secret Layers. Number 2 is Jace Vryn's Prodigy, down $1.18 to $35.51. The card's seeing a lot of play still, but it did have some pretty big spikes recently, so not too surprising to see this kind of retraction. This is in Dimir Inverter, Sultai Delirium, see some Legacy and Vintage play as well. Number 1, Emrakul, The Promised End. It goes down $1.78 to $36.47. Another card that has been gaining value recently, so again, maybe not too surprising to see some retraction. This is in some big decks though, Sultai Delirium, Mono Green Walkers. It's also in that Simic Unexpected Results deck, so I'm a little surprised that it's going down this much this week. Can show up in some other places in the format too. In Modern, it's in Tron builds, sees Legacy play as well. Alright, let's move on to the top 5 Pioneer legal cards that have gained value this week. Number 5, not really moving because of Pioneer, it is Sliver Hivelord. It goes up 62 cents to $11.27, but it's not just any copy of Sliver Hivelord. This is the one from Mystery Boosters, so yes, we have started to incorporate Mystery Boosters into the video now. And this card has been stabilizing down recently since this reprinting, but this new copy has to find its price point. This is obviously very good in Sliver Commander decks, which have become more popular since Sliver Hivelord was reprinted in Kaleidoscope Killers. El Hameret's Archive comes in at number 4. It goes up 71 cents to $6.88. And again, this is the copy from Mystery Boosters. And recently, like I said, Commander Life Gain decks have been popular. But even if you don't take that into account, this is just a really solid Commander card in general. Number 3, more Commander action is on this list. It's Cyclonic Rift. This is the one from Return to Ravnica this time. It goes up $1.18 to $23.76. Sometimes this does see play in Modern Mono Blue Tron, but obviously this is probably moving mostly because it's one of the biggest Commander cards out there. Number 2 is Ugin the Spirit Dragon. This card has been losing value. It goes up $3.91 this week, though, to $59.24. This is actually in that Simic Unexpected Results deck, so maybe that's why there's a little more attention on it this week. It's also in Mono Green Ramp, Lotus Breach, Modern, you'll find this in Tron builds, Legacy Post builds, and it's a big Commander card, too. Number 1 is Solemnity. It's been a while since we've seen this one. It goes up $4.91 to $6.50. Wow, what happened here? Ikoria and Commander 2020 previews happened. And basically, we're seeing a lot of cards that throw around different types of counters that give flying or hexproof or trample, so on and so forth. And some people want to pick this card up to protect themselves against that strategy, but there's more to it than just that. This card actually combos really well with another card that was previewed this week. That card is Luminous Broodmoth. Basically, the idea is if you have a creature that does not fly, it dies, then it would return to the battlefield, but if you can't put the flying counter on it, then it's not going to have flying, which means it can die again. So if you have those two cards out, as well as some kind of sack outlet that gives you mana or something, then you're able to create endless loops with those cards. Also, you could use Kroxa perhaps to just basically win the game flat out with that combo. So I do think people are going to try to brew that in Pioneer, maybe even Modern. Definitely I would expect to see that type of thing happening in Commander though, if nothing else. Okay, on to Modern with your top 5 Modern legal cards that have lost value this week. Number 5 is Craterhoof Behemoth from Modern Masters 2017. It goes down $2.19 to $41.03. This card has been spiking a lot recently, really ever since Mystery Boosters have been getting out there and Reese the Redeemed has become easier to get a hold of and cheaper. Some people are building that Commander build, and this is a good card to play in that. Also, this does see some Legacy play in Elves decks too. Number 4 is Tarmogoyf, the one from Ultimate Masters, goes down $2.20 to $40.92. And these Goyfs are trying to find their price point as the Modern meta has been shifting again recently. Still seeing play though. You're going to find this in Jund, Death Shadow builds, sometimes Infect sideboards and more. This is in Legacy and Vintage too. Liliana the Val comes in at number 3. This is the one from Modern Masters 2017. It goes down $2.24 to $56. Similar story here. This card is trying to find its price in this new Modern meta. And this is another card that does still see play though. Jund, Grixis, Death Shadow, and more decks will run it. And this also sees Legacy play too. Number 2 is Send Triplets from Alara Reborn. It goes down $2.43 to $45. Very popular Commander card that has been spiking recently, but it was reprinted as one of the foils in the WPN Mystery Boosters that cooled the card off pretty quickly. Number 1 is Sword of Fire and Ice from Darksteel. It goes down $2.48 to $66.09. This card was gaining a lot of value when Stoneforge Mystic was unbanned in the Modern format not too long ago. But now as things have settled in, it doesn't feel like a lot of people want to run Sword of Fire and Ice with Stoneforge. Sword of Feast and Famine has been the sword of choice for the most part. This can show up occasionally, but it's just not seeing the amount of play a lot of people anticipated. Still see some Legacy play, and it's still a great Commander card, so it's not going to lose all its value, but I do think this could lose more value before it stabilizes. Okay, on to your top 5 Modern legal cards that have gained value this week. Coming in at number 5 is Aether Vial. It goes up 96 cents to $22.95. You'll find this in Humans and more in the Modern format. It does see some Legacy play. Actually, it's in the Esper Vial deck, which did pretty good on Magic the Gathering Online last week, so that could be part of the reason this is going up. Ikoria also does have a human theme in Orzhov, which maybe has some people interested to kind of see where that goes with Humans decks. And also with some of the counter shenanigans, perhaps this card just generally gets better in the future. Number 4 is Bloom Tender. This is the one from Eventide. It goes up $1.03 to $49.02. This was recently reprinted in Mystery Boosters. And this card lost a lot of value with that reprinting, but it is bouncing up a little bit this week. It's just such a huge Commander card. Number 3 is Kokusho, the Evening Star. This is the one from Modern Masters. It goes up $1.17 to $12.66. Another card that's really moving more because of Commander than anything. Not as big as the previous card, but this does see a lot of Commander play. Many times you'll find this in Carrick Son of Yawgmoth builds. Number 2 is Misty Rainforest from Zendikar. It goes up $1.29 to $66.83. So a couple weeks ago, there was the announcement that enemy fetches were being reprinted and will get easier to get your hands on. And that came in a number of forms. One was the Secret Lair Ultimate Edition. That was very, very limited, so that might not have a huge impact on prices on its own. But then sometime in the future, they're going to do another big Secret Lair bundle. It was supposed to be June, but obviously it's been delayed. And if you buy the entire bundle, then you would get one of the enemy fetches at random from that Secret Lair product. And then later in the year, they said fetches were going to be reprinted in a product that goes to game stores, but not a standard product. So we don't know if that product's been delayed. Most likely that might not happen to 2021. Who knows? But regardless, we know a lot of reprints are coming, and these did cool off a little bit. Misty Rainforest, though, does bounce back a little this week. You're going to find this right now in some pretty big modern builds, like Bant Snowblade, which is wildly popular, Urza builds, Amulet Titan, and more. This also sees Legacy and Vintage play like you would expect. Number 1, Avacyn Angel of Hope from Iconic Masters, up $1.92 to $34.06. As you can see, this is another week where a lot of the cards going up in value in Modern are really moving more because of Commander than anything else. And this is another one of those cards, very popular in Commander. Alright, on to the Vintage Spotlight. This is where we talk about cards that see play in Legacy, Vintage, 93, 94, or cards that are just popular among collectors. The first card's Doomsday from Weatherlight, the original. It goes up $1.28 to $13.01. This is seeing play in Legacy Doomsday decks with Thassa's Oracle. Vintage, this is in Sultai Doomsday, also with Thassa's Oracle. And as you could imagine, this is seeing increased Commander play with that card too. Next is Mystical Tutor. This is the one from Signature Spellbook Jace. It goes up $1.34 to $12.04. So this sees Vintage play. It's also a good Commander card, especially in competitive Commander, where you're going to see a lot of people playing with tutors. And after a couple weeks of the Sushi Hulk deck being sort of cold, it is heating up again this week. I know a lot of people don't like that deck and don't like when I talk about it, but I do have to explain why the cards are going up in value. And in this case, Sushi Hulk is definitely a factor. You're going to see later in the video, those two commanders are spiking again, and that is an indication that people are trying to build that deck. Now, part of the renewed interest could be some of the new cards that are being previewed. Some of them could make the deck better as if it needed any help, right? One of the cards that was previewed yesterday, for example, was Drannith Magistrate. Survival of the Fittest from Exodus. This is on the reserve list, but it did get printed one more time after this as a Judge promo in foil before they closed that loophole on the list. It goes up $1.95 to $85. You're going to find this in Vintage Survival decks, and this is another card that does see some Commander play and sometimes does show up in Sushi Hulk. Mox Diamond from Stronghold. This is also on the reserve list, but did get one more printing in foil and from the Vault Relics. It goes up $363 to $275.13. This sees a fair amount of Legacy play, and again, a lot of Commander play too, especially in competitive decks like Sushi Hulk. Grim Monolith. This goes up $389 to $134.53. This is also on the reserve list. It sees Legacy play in post builds, and it's a very popular Commander card. City of Traders also on the reserve list. This goes up $433 to $124.99. This is in Legacy Eldrazi builds and more in the format. Fifth one in a row, another reserve list card, Gilded Drake. This goes up $452 to $80. This is actually in the sideboard of Esper Vile in Legacy, the deck I mentioned earlier. And this sees Commander play, including in Sushi Hulk. Mana Crypt, not on the reserve list. This is the original copy, though, from the book giveaway. And this goes up $459 to $264.34. Recently reprinted in Mystery Boosters and did lose some value, but it looks like it's already bouncing back. This sees Vintage play, lots of Commander play, and again, can show up in competitive decks like everybody's favorite, Sushi Hulk. Vampiric Tutor is here, another tutor, so you know what that means. Yup, it can be played in the deck that shall not be named. Visions goes up $214 to $66.09. Eternal Masters goes up $608 to $84.63. And this also sees Vintage play and Commander play in a lot of other decks too. Mana Drain. Legends goes up $390 to $175.99. Iconic Masters goes up $636 to $119.99. This sees a little Vintage play still, but it's really more of a Commander card than anything right now. And it's a big Commander card. And yup, it does show up in that deck too. Over the last couple of weeks, we have seen some unlimited cards start to heat up again. Not as many this week, but this one was going up quite a bit percentage-wise. Lord of the Pit from Unlimited. It goes up $10.42 to $37.45. And then finally, for this section, we have Concordant Crossroads from Legends. It goes up $11.89 to $100.33. All right, we've talked a lot about Commander in this video, but we're going to talk about it more in the Commander Spotlight, as a few more cards are going up that I wanted to highlight. Teferi's Protection. Now, the Commander 2017 copy going down a little this week, but the Mystery Booster copy going up as it's trying to find its price point. It goes up $1.12 to $30.34. Huge card in white for Commander. Phyrexian Altar from Invasion. It goes up $1.41 to $27.99. Another big Commander card here, and is probably getting a little more attention because of Luminous Broodmoth and, of course, Solemnity. Urza's Incubator from Commander 2015. It goes up $1.98 to $17.99. So this is a popular Commander card, and I think this particular copy just happened to dry up a little bit this week. Maybe Commander 2020 and Ikoria will push a tribe or two. We have seen humans getting a little love so far in those Orzhov colors. We'll have to see if that goes anywhere, but maybe some people are specking on this card a little bit. Next we have Bounty Hunter. This goes up $285 to $499. I actually mentioned this in the preview video yesterday, and I wasn't the only one to think of this apparently, but this plays well with one of the new cards from Ikoria, and that is Chevel, Bane of Monsters. Another tutor. It's Sylvan Tutor from Portal. It goes up $378 to $5602. Probably not a coincidence that it's in everybody's favorite competitive commander deck, but it's in other competitive commander decks too, and other casual ones. Timna the Weaver. How do I get around this? It goes up $381 to $29.88. It's in foil only, and this is the partner commander in one of the really popular versions of a very popular commander deck out there. Yep, you know it, you love it. It's Sushi Hulk. So yes, this card's going up quite a bit this week, which again, like I said earlier, is an indication that people are trying to put together the deck again this week. Cabal Coffers. Torment goes up $1.31 to $48.08. Plane Chase goes up $381 to $68.11. So this card has been hot and then it cooled off for a little while. It is climbing again. It's a big commander card for black decks. Many times you'll find this in Yawgmoth Transposition builds, for example. Skullbriar the Walking Grave. This is the one from Commander Anthology Volume 2. It goes up $3.98 to $8. The one from the original Commander product is going up a little bit too this week, but didn't quite make our list today. So obviously this is moving because of Ikoria previews and Commander 2020 previews. As we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of new counters out there, so some people are speculating on this for Commander. Thrashios Triton Hero at $506 to $34.99. Great for all your Merfolk Commander decks. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is something you're going to play in Sushi Hulk. This is that other partner commander. Fluctuator. This card is going up a lot this week, although I'm assuming it's going to fluctuate in the future. It goes up $29.66 to $34.99. So why is this so hot right now? Because if you've been watching the Ikoria and Commander 2020 previews, you know cycling's back. So whenever cycling makes a return, this card does jump up, then it usually settles back down again. We'll have to see what happens. It is very difficult, though, to find this card on the secondary market. I think it was just a natural buyout when people saw cycling return, but maybe the last few copies were targeted, who knows. Okay, on to the Pauper Spotlight. We have Mog War Marshal from Mystery Boosters. It goes up 10 cents to 49 cents. You'll find this in Goblin builds in the Pauper format. This also sees some Modern Legacy and Commander play in Goblin builds. Utopia Sprawl, this is the one from Dissension. It goes up 10 cents to 320. This is in Pauper Hexproof decks. This also does see Modern play, though, too, and a fair amount of Commander play as well. Knight's Whisper. Dual decks Jace vs. Vraska goes up 10 cents to 166. Mystery Boosters goes up 13 cents to 105. This is found in Mono Black Control builds in Pauper. Preordain, the one from Commander 2015. It goes up 18 cents to 225. And this is in Fairy builds in the format and other decks, too. Legacy and Vintage, this card shows up in those formats as well, and it's a huge Commander card, and yep, it does show up in that deck as well. Impact Tremors, this goes up 22 cents to 91 cents, again another card from Mystery Boosters. These Mystery Booster cards are really, again, just trying to find their price point, that's why they're showing up here. And this one does see a little sideboard play in Pauper. It's a very popular Commander card, though. And finally in this section, maybe you've heard of this one, Lightning Bolt. Beatdown box set goes up 22 cents to $3.31. The Mystery Boosters copy is going up 24 cents to $1.49. And just for fun, I threw Unlimited on here, even though that's probably just moving because it's unlimited. It goes up $1.65 to $16.35. You're going to find this in Pauper Burn and Scred Fairies and more decks in the format. Obviously, this is also a very popular Modern Legacy Vintage and Commander card. Onto the Premium Spotlight. I'll throw my disclaimer in real quick. As you know, I don't like to spend a whole lot of time talking about cards that are hard to find, like those really rare promos or foils. Because if you look at online data, sometimes you just can't get enough sales data to really nail down a good price. And sometimes that data can be manipulated if there's not a lot of copies of the card for sale. But I like to find one or two cards every week that do feel like they're moving naturally with the market. This week, how can you not go with Solemnity? Pre-release foil goes up $7.62 to $11.61. Hour of Devastation foil goes up $9.55 to $13. I would expect this to keep going up as the week goes on, as some of the cheaper copies will continue to get purchased in the marketplace. Alright, that does it for the Market Watch. I hope you had a few minutes at least to take your mind off things and have a little fun, just kind of looking at Magic cards with me. And hey, stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We're going to be back tomorrow to do some preview cards and talk about some stuff that came out today and tomorrow, I'm sure. And that will continue all week. Until next time, though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.